Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It is a pleasure to welcome all of you here tonight. Great to see so many familiar faces and great to see so many new faces. For everyone, though, please take a moment to silence your cell phones or mute them or do whatever you can to make sure they don't go off during services. That would be wonderful. And Richard Barsky, if I could ask you to come up and read the announcements, is that okay? If you see somebody wearing a name tag, they are board members. We are very happy that Richard is here. And sorry to put you on the spot, but wonderful that you're here to read the announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Richard Barsky, and on behalf of the Bethel Board of Trustees, I would like to welcome each of you to our Shabbat service. I would also like to wish Mazel Tov to the Friedman Darvick family. We are so glad to have you with us tonight. You're all invited tomorrow to the special event of Anna's Bat Mitzvah, when she will be called to the Torah. If you're new or visiting, please introduce yourself to me or to Rabbi Dime after the service for a warm welcome. We're delighted to celebrate Shabbat with you. Please save the date for our annual congregation meeting, which will be Sunday morning, June the 8th, and check the bulletin for more upcoming events. All details and RSVP links can be found in our Tuesday e-blast. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, sir. Thank you again, Richard, for coming up and sharing those announcements with us. We turn now in our books to page 126, 126. Please join with me in the reading. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world that God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us, and to bring that vision to life. And now we turn to page 128, 128. Please join with me in Hine Ma Tov. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. And now we look back to page 120, 120, for the lighting of the candles, and we'll go right from there into the blessing over the wine, into the Kiddush. So I'd like to invite up the Darvicks, Friedmans, and Millers to come up and help us with the lighting of the candles and the blessing over the wine with the Kiddush. So everybody involved in either of those prayers, come on up. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Don't be shy, crowd around. That's all good. The more the merrier. Come on around, it's okay. Welcome, welcome. We're on page 120. We start with the candle lighting. Oh no, just use the candle that's already lit. There you go. Oh, it'll fall off, careful. Just lift the aluminum. Yep, there we go. That's okay. Just lift the aluminum itself. Here you go. Yeah, you're welcome. We're doing okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. And now the Kiddush, page 123. 1, 2, 3. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei puri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'achata v'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ahava uvratzon yinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim. Somebody take a sip. Whoever. Somebody take a sip of the wine. We turn now to page 142, 142, for Shalom Aleichem, welcoming not only all these guests, but all the angels of Shabbat that we're inviting to dwell with us this Shabbat. Page 142. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ba'achem Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And now we turn to page 146, 146, for the Baruch Hu, our call to worship. I invite you to rise in body or spirit. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Leolam Va'ed. You may be seated. We look now to page 148 for the Ma'ariv Aravim. Please join with me. In the English. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzoaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Baruch atah Adonai HaMa'ariv Aravim. And now we turn to page 150. Please join with me in the English. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Now I invite you to rise in body or spirit for the Shema. Page 152-153. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. You may be seated. We turn to page 154 for the Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta ba'am b'shivtecha b'veitecha u'lechtecha v'derech u'shochbecha u'vkumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet. We turn to page 159. Please join with me. Sing the song of people, joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. We look back to page 158 for our people's song of redemption. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele. Malechutecha ra'u v'anecha, Bokei ayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze'eli anu ve'amru, Ze'eli anu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov, Ugalo miyad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. We turn to page 160 for the Hashkivenu, and we plead with God, we ask God to help us to build a Sukkot Shlomecha, a shelter of peace, to help us to move from the week that we've had into a time of peace this Shabbat. Hashkivenu, top of page 160. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. And now we turn to page 162 for Vishamru, and it is my honor and pleasure to invite up our future, and by future I mean tomorrow morning, Bat Mitzvah, Anna Darvick, to lead us in Vishamru. Page 162.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, Lasot et ha-Shabbat, le'tortam berit olam. B'nei Uvein, b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, Lasot et ha-Shabbat, le'tortam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et haaretz. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, Lasot et ha-Shabbat, le'tortam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, Lasot et ha-Shabbat, le'tortam berit olam.
Great job. Thank you so much. I say it every time we have a B'nai Mitzvah student up here, but it is wonderful to have you up on the bima and to get ready for tomorrow. You all are in for a treat. So one of the things about being up here and welcoming people up to the bima is, you never want to interrupt somebody in the middle of a prayer. You did a great job, and I heard sneezing, but I didn't want to say bless you in the middle of your Vishamru, which was lovely. So standing bless you for all the allergies that are going on. If I can't interrupt myself or anybody else, bless you, all of you, because it is that season right now. The grass is being mowed and it's crazy out there. So bless yous all around. Now we turn to page 164 for the Amidah, the Tefillah portion of our service. I invite you to rise in body or spirit. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'nehem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Vezrat Sarah, page 168. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye Hakol Atarav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechaye Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofe Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishene Afar, Michamocha Baal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memid, Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Atah L'Hachayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol, page 170. Atah Gibor Shakadosh, Ukdoshim B'chol Yom Yehalelucha Selah, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. You may be seated. We turn to page 175, 175. Please join with me at the top of the page. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands. You are our God, whom alone we serve with reverence. Baruch Atah Adonai, She'odcha levadcha bi'ira na'avod. We turn to page 177, 177 at the top. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch Atah Adonai, Hatov Shimcha Ucha Na'eh Lehodot. And now, even with all those things that we are thankful for, with all the things in our lives for which we are grateful, we are still praying for peace. We turn to page 178, 178 for Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol et u'b'chol sha'a b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Baruch Atah Adonai Hamvarech et amo Yisrael v'shalom. Now, our thoughts turn to those who are in need of healing, whether it is healing of mind or of body or of spirit. The congregation is thinking for healing of Pearl Levin, Carol Friedman, Carol Wallace, Carol Solomon, June Van, Rabbi Michael Matchison, Sherry Chait, Larry Michaelov, Antoinette Worrell, Linda Chambliss, Judge Frank Caprio, Fran Marcus, Howard Silvers, Paige Hedrick, Kathy Weiner, Rob Moreland, Ben Beltran, Jeff Mayer, Linda Margolis, Sadie Charlotte Schwartz, Dean Fiandaca, Arthur Iglico, Rose Iglico, Carolyn Boyles, David Charles, Ken Friedman, Dawn D'Amelia, Jackie Gould, Michael Bierman, Nancy Rubenstein, Rita Friedman, Leonard Reed, Scott Silvers, Randy Pakula, all Israelis still being held hostage, all Israeli soldiers injured in war, and all civilians injured in any war. If there's anyone here that has a name that you would like to share with the congregation of someone for whom you are praying for healing, I invite you to share their name when my eyes meet yours. We hold all of their names together as a community. We turn to page 371, 371. I invite you to rise in body or spirit for the Mishaberach. Mishaberach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Limotenu, may the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. May those who will not be healed on this earth be blessed with nights free from suffering and days filled with peace. May God grant strength and comfort to those who care for the sick. May God help us to find hope and courage as we face fear and loss. May all who are ill be surrounded by the love of friends, loving companions, family, and community. And let us say, Amen. You may be seated. And now I invite you to take a few moments for a silent meditation. And when we come out of silent meditation, we'll be on page 180, 180 with Osei Shalom. Ose shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Well, Shabbat Shalom again, everyone. All right, that was pretty good energy, but I know there's been a lot of caffeine this week, and there are a lot of you in here. So let's try that again. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. I knew you could do it. Much, much, much more energy that time. That was great. So, Anna, I am so excited for your Bat Mitzvah weekend. We are all, not just me, but your family, your friends, the whole congregation are so proud of the person you are becoming, the Jewish adult you are much on your way to already being, and so looking forward to tomorrow morning. We are so proud of you. And part of being on a Jewish journey is wrestling with Torah. You're going to teach us about the Torah tomorrow morning. It's going to be great. I already read her wise words from her Devar. Good stuff. And wrestling with Torah sometimes is super challenging. And this is one of those weeks. Now, no worries, I'm not going to take what you're going to say tomorrow. But another part of the Torah that is challenging this week is an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. And this quote from this Torah portion is one of those really difficult parts of the Torah. It's calling for really harsh, really extreme justice, violent justice. And thankfully, our rabbis over thousands of years decided we were going to sort of wrestle with this and turn it into something else. Turn it into a different kind of justice. And so we now think about eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth as a changed metaphor. We think of it as turning into a kind of justice that's a call for fairness, for restitution, and for human dignity. Instead of retaliating in kind, we have evolved. We, with the help of our rabbis, as Jews, as a people, have evolved to think about, instead of causing the same harm that was done to us, to name it, acknowledge this harm, have it be acknowledged, and to work to repair it, not to answer it with more harm. That shift from vengeance to justice is at the heart of Jewish ethics. It raises the question, though, how do we utilize that? How do we live with it today in the world that we are in right now? Because we are living in painful and complicated times. We, as Jewish people all over the world, saw on October 7th, 2023, just what we have to face. It was a terrible day. We lost over 1,200 lives. We lost old people, young people, people at a concert just living life and enjoying music. And many of them still remain hostage. I know that there are many views about how to respond to this, many different opinions about the way that it should be responded to. And I believe that Israel had and still has every right to defend itself and to do everything it can to bring our people home. However, most of us here live in the US, I imagine maybe all of us, and we're not facing the same trials here at home every day that Israel faced and faces. And we can still feel hurt. We can still feel betrayed. We can still be wronged by people just being mean, day by day by day. And so, what do we do about that? How do we handle this day by day struggle, this day by day hurt? The Torah says in this week's Torah portion, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. But last week it said, you shall not hate your sibling in your heart. It told us to surely rebuke our neighbor when it was necessary, but to not incur guilt because of them. In other words, don't hold our pain in silence. Set boundaries and name the hurt. Put it out there. Because if the person hears you, once they know what they did, there's a fighting chance that they're going to want to make up for it, that they're going to want to make restitution to earn your forgiveness. And if they don't make that effort, if they don't change, if they don't try, having named it, you've done what you can do. Now, it may take you until the next Yom Kippur to forgive them, but you've done what you can do by naming it and giving them the opportunity to make up for it, and then you're able to move forward. God willing, we're able to move forward with our lives. One of the most powerful modern examples of this was Nelson Mandela from South Africa. Now, he was in prison for 27 years, and when he got out of prison, what some of us might have wanted to do was seek revenge immediately, to take back what had been taken from us. But instead, he decided to come out of prison and pursue healing. He established for his people, for his country that had such a deep wound, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, where past harms could be named, acknowledged, and hopefully people could make amends. That takes tremendous strength. And it's the kind of healing, the kind of justice, the kind of repair that our religion calls for as well. Judaism doesn't ask us to be passive, to turn the other cheek. It says, justice, justice shall you pursue. Tzedek, tzedek tirdof. And it doesn't tell us to strike back either. It tells us to stand up with dignity, with clarity, and for justice. So this Shabbat, I offer and encourage all of us to reflect. Is there a hurt that you've been carrying that you want to set down? Is there someone you need to speak to, not in anger or in revenge, but with truth? And is there someone who's apologized that you're ready to forgive, not just for them, but for yourself? May this Shabbat give us the strength and the peace and the space to breathe in that calmness and that focus that will take us in the future to pursue this kind of justice. Anna, again, we are so proud of you and glad for you, me, your family, and all of us. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I spoke of our cousins in Israel, and as I do every service, I encourage us now to turn to page 678, 678, and to rise in body or spirit to sing Israel's national anthem, Hatikva, in solidarity with our cousins there. Cousins, family, and friends. Kol od balevav pnima Nefesh Yehudi Homiya Ulfate Mizrach Kadima Ayin Letzion Tzofia Od lo abda tikvatenu Hatikva bat shnot alpayim liotam chofshi be'artzenu Eretz Tzion v'Yerushalayim עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. I invite us to remain standing in body or spirit and turn back to page 586, 586 for the Aleinu. We'll be on 586, then 588, and then 591. Bottom right, 586. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 588. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. 591 ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. You may be seated. There are stars up above, so far away that we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we have loved. Their light keeps shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways that we remember. The congregation is remembering those whom we have lost. We're remembering those whom we have lost within the last year. Barry Schoenfeld, Milton Margolis, David Shaknovsky, David Friedman, David Cohen, Mike Hyman, Alice McCauley Schumer, Carol Mandel, Helen Gerber, Jerry Chait, Shirley Mendelson, Bryce Rutan, Eliezer Ben Yehuda, Jim DeArmond. We're also remembering those who passed away at this time in years past. Cecilia Aronoff, Arlette Belkin, Shelley Fishman, Ambrose Max Ilano, Martin Lipson, Francis S. Scheinsight, Martin Sills, Linda Slominski, and I invite you now, if there's anyone here that's holding a name in your heart of someone that you would like to bring to the community that you have lost, I invite you to share their name when my eyes meet yours. We hold all of the names together as a community. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you. Okay. We hold all of the names together as a community. We turn to page 598, 598. I invite you to rise in body or spirit for the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yikadash shmei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei ve'amlich malchutei, B'chayachon uv'yomachon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'gala uv'izman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach le'olam ul'olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei dekudusha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the one who makes peace on high bring comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say, Amen. You may be seated. Let's turn to page 626, 626, for Ein Kelohenu. Ein Kelohenu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemalkenu, Ein Kemoshienu, Michelohenu, Michadonenu, Michemalkenu, Michemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. And now we turn back to page 603, where we go to for the priestly benediction. And I invite you all to rise in body or spirit as I say this blessing over all of you. And then we'll go out into the vestibule for the Kiddush, but because we have some young feet here in the congregation tonight, I'm going to do the Kiddush and the Motzi in here in advance so that the young feet can run out and enjoy the Kiddush and the Motzi. So we'll do the priestly benediction, and then we'll have the blessings, and please then go and enjoy the Kiddush without having to wait for critical Mass. Page 603, 603. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, shalom, shalom. May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace. Shabbat shalom, everyone. And now, hold your virtual Kiddush cup in your hand. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen, early l'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'te'avon and Shabbat shalom, everyone. We'll see you out there.